So let's get this party started, folks. Come on in. Good morning, Reverend Penni Honey here. You landed at Unity of Flagstaff Spiritual Center. Thanks for being with us. We're going to get going here in just a second. And again, we appreciate you sharing your Sunday with us. Share this link and make sure that everybody you knows that we're out here. www.unityofflagstaff.org. You can find out what's going on here in the community. Thank you again for being with us. Today we're talking about 100% human, 100% divine, the great in between. Blessings, my friends. Welcome.
If you guys would like to stand, we'd love to have you stand, and you'll figure out the chorus real quick. Join in on this song. We'd love to have you.
We are one.
We are
one with everything under the sun. We are one with everything under the sun.
All right, here we go.
We are one with the Spirit. We are one with the power. We are one with the Spirit. Every day and every hour. We are one with everything under the sun.
and say good morning to each other. All right, thank you. Welcome. Hey, lady. You guys wash it. I did. Good morning. Thank you for being with us. Here we go. Class. Class. If you can hear me, say amen. If you can hear me, say amen. If you can hear me, say amen. Thank you. It's good to have you with us. I'm Reverend Penni Honey. Thank you for being here. Take a breath. So you guys now have seen the PowerPoint 27 times as we were looking for the words, right? Did you get all that news? Because there's a lot going on here, right? And be sure and check all of that out in the foyer, of course. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. I am Reverend Penni Honey, and it is an honor and it is a joy to share your Sunday morning with you. Yeah, it really is. You know, it's just good to be me. I was telling Helen a little earlier, and we'll probably get into some of that. It is. We are blessed. We are one. And this community just shows it over and over and over in ways that never show up on a Sunday morning. But that is who we are, and it is who we will continue to be as we find our greatest expression. So if you're looking for that, you're in the right room. Ta-da! Good timing. And we have Matt Devlin in the house. Thank you. And we also, Steve, where'd you go? How come I can't? Oh, there he is. You would think tallest guy in the room. You'd think I'd see him. There he is, Steve Huffman on keys. And, of course, Miss Trina Getz supporting with vocals. We're grateful for that. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff, like I like to say. You know, all our welcome is not just a slogan. It really is a principle by which we live here. And that is a little bit of what I was kind of getting into when I said, and this community just shows up. So we are grateful for that. And one of the biggest ways that we can support you is prayer. And we have some people in the room that know how to do that. Well, everybody in this room knows how to pray, but those that are here to support you as prayer partners, they're here. Catch them. Catch them after service. Celebrate with you, pray with you, affirm with you the good that is in your life. So thank you for that. And, of course, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. 669-7729. Put it on speed dial. That is Silent Unity 24/7. There is always someone there that will pick up the phone and say, "How may I pray with you?" You know, and sometimes that's all you need to hear. They don't have to say a word after that. How may I pray with you? And, of course, you can always drop your prayers off over here in the prayer box. And those will be held by our prayer team, and they will be held in prayer for 30 days and simultaneously sent to Silent Unity, where they are also held. So let's do some praying. How about it? Since I've been bragging about all our praying, Let's do some of that right now. Take a deep breath. It's good to be us. God is good, but only all the time. Only all the time. So we rest into this safe and comfortable and beautiful space. We open our hearts, we open our minds, and we recognize the connection with one another. But this love is too big for this room. So we see it just filtering out into the world. People are healed. People feel safe. People know love. We hold this awareness. We are one. We are one. And we are one with the divine and the great creation of all. And for this, we give great thanks. And so it is, and so we let it be. It is my joy to bring to the front once again Miss Trina Getz. She's doing double duty or triple or whatever. I saw her with the broom earlier, so there you go. But she's been promoted to platform assistant. And we're grateful for you, Miss Trina, and all that you do. She is also our lead on the Mystery Theater, so be sure and check that out in the foyer.
We're hoping if we have 5 spots left. 5, that's it. So if you want to participate, talk to me. Talk to me. All right. So it is time for our gratitudes and prayer requests. We collectively affirm with you and those that you pray and celebrate with that the presence of good is in all things. Wow.
In all things. Trina has spoken.
That just right, didn't it? So we know that God, the universe, spirit, whatever you call it, knows the details. So who has a gratitude or prayer request to share with us?
Hello, everyone. I'm very grateful for this community for many reasons, but one of the ones that it's probably the deepest in my heart is that I've been a lifelong poet, and this community offers us once a month free open mic poetry reading, and we also have invited musicians to come. And this next Sunday is first, isn't it the next Friday? Sorry, next Friday is our regular monthly open mic, and I just invite you all to come. And I'm very grateful that we do it. We've managed to keep it going now. I think it's been a year, so it's been, it's amazing that it, and it's through the support of all the creatives in our community. Are we having the artists come this time or no?
Not as of yet.
Okay, they may show up too. I've never seen that before. Our fabulous minister had this idea. Well, we have musicians, we have poets, we have writers. You could write fiction, you could write nonfiction and come up and read. And then, we're leaving somebody out. What about all the visual artists, possibly in our community or in the greater Flagstaff community? So and that last time we invited them, and it was really special. I'd never done anything like that in my decades of being a poet and putting on readings. So, we continue to be creative in so many different ways in this community. So thank you so much.
Yay! Round of applause. First Friday. That's this Friday. We'll have open mic night. So, you don't have to contribute. You can come and cheer people on. Right? We love audience. And there's always good treats. So that's at 7:15 on Friday night here in the center. Yes, Miss Carolyn.
Hi. So piggybacking on that, I am very grateful for the open mic night because there are a lot of different aspects in life that might stand in the way of someone putting the time in to be more creative and express that and share that. And I felt a real motivation from this upcoming open mic night, as well as the continuing process of it, to start working on things that have been calling to me, and where I might otherwise just ignore it and say, well, what's the point? But there's an opportunity here, and I'm so grateful. And thank you.
That's so cool. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is what we do. Not just on Sunday morning, we open the way for people to find their expression. Yeah. I'm thinking we got a tagline somewhere in there, right? You know what we do say is, Jim, can you take that to Helen, please? We do say that find your expression. That's what we say here at Unity of Flagstaff. So thank you. That's so cool. I love hearing that. All right, Miss Helen.
Speaking of finding your expression, do I have an opportunity for you? I am so grateful that we have a calendar team, which I'd like to introduce. Laura, Alice, and Trina. So I'm introducing them because you might want to get a hold of one of us to submit your willingness to be a sponsor of next year's calendar. Every month we have someone different who submits their own picture, and then we make it look wonderful. But
No
it's-
photographs of people, though, by the way.
No photographs of people. And this year our theme is reflections. Now, you might say, well, does that mean I have to do a water picture? No. You could do a rainbow. That, I understand, is also a kind of reflection. You could pick a place that you really love to go, and that's where you meditate. And you have just this perfect picture of it, and you reflect there. We're not trying to interpret the word for you. We'll let you be creative in that way. But see one of us, because we do need sponsors, and believe it or not, they go fairly quickly. So, thank you.
The
The
sponsorships?
sponsorships are $150, and you get to include a quote. Or not. If you say, I'm not a quotey person, we'll take care of that. If you say, I just have $150 I want to give you, we'll take it and someone else will give us a picture. We are flexible.
We are flexible. Thank you, Helen. Yeah. Helen, how many years is this that you and Alice have been doing this? About 4 years. Yeah, round of applause. It is our largest fundraiser of the year, so thank you. Thank you. Yeah, now I already announced that at the beginning of the month there, Michael. Michael wants you to know that this month he sponsored, right? And believe it or not, there's an elk on the calendar. Can you imagine it? A caribou, I'm sorry. Yeah, caribou on the picture. Yeah. Of course there's an animal in the picture. Yes, Miss Dixie.
I would like to thank everyone who has contributed to our needs, our miscellaneous things. There are some new ones on the board, so it's in the back, toward the back door, if anybody would like to help us out.
Thank you, Dixie. Yeah. Dixie oversees our needs and fulfilled board. So what that is all the disposables that we use, paper towel, cleaner, soap, we took out of the budget. And you guys have still made it happen because look how clean this place is, right? Right? So that's what Dixie's referring to. So check out the board, see what you might be able to bring in to support that. We appreciate it. There it is. Okay. The torch. Yes, Miss Betsy, you are not passing the torch, by the way. She's our president of the board.
On a lower note, I would like to have prayers for my ex-boyfriend's family. His uncle and his cousin were assassinated down in Calexico a week ago. And so I'm asking for smooth transition for both of them and for prayers for the family. They had been shot earlier in the year and survived, but this time it was.
Okay, so let's take a breath. Take a breath. Here we go. That's big information, isn't it? You feel that? Yeah. And what I can tell you is this. It's not bigger than God. It's never bigger than God. And the God mind and our consciousness. So we're holding right now in the light, first of all, the transition of these two beings. They have moved on to their next expression. We affirm that that is easy. We affirm that that opens the way for a greater way of being in the world. And we hold in that same light. Come on, take a breath with me. There we go. We hold in that same light those that fired the shots. We see them healed. We see forgiveness and peace and love enfolding this. And we release to any story that we have about it. God is in it, and God is greater. God is in it, and God is greater. Say it with me. God is in it, and God is greater. And so it is.
Thank you.
I would just like to thank everyone who has participated in our T-shirt drive. And we have, today is our last day, and Dixie and I will be out at the table after the service. And they're going to be ordered tomorrow, and we'll let you know when they're coming in. We're asking for a $10 donation. So you have three choices of what you want on the back, and there's our logos on the front. So thank you for that, and maybe we'll wear them all one Sunday. I don't know.
T-shirt Sunday.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, we did pretty good on the crazy socks. Thank you, Shar. Yes. Yeah, this is a new fundraiser we've added this year. It's T-shirts. And we give thanks to the Law Office of Gary Robbins for underwriting this project. That's why we can then just ask for a $10 donation, which supports this fundraiser. So thank you. And if you're really feeling generous, make it 20, and then we'll have money in the scholarship fund for those who may not be able to purchase a T-shirt or give that $10. Yes, Norm.
I have an unusual gratitude today. When I'm wandering around later, look at my T-shirt. It's got a helicopter in the back, and it talks about where you get trained to fly helicopters. Oh, I got one little flight with a helicopter with my grandson, who is now a medevac helicopter pilot. And I had a meal with him the other day, and he has thousands of hours of flying helicopters. Hey, I get to take a little credit for that. I'm a sailplane and power pilot, and I took him flying in a sailplane some years ago, and I let him fly a little bit, and he told me a few years ago that turned him on.
Way to go, Grandpa. All right?
So I'm so pleased and so blessed that I have two grandsons, and one of them they're both involved in some way with medicine. Wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, we are celebrating that with you, Norm. We are celebrating that with you. And you know, my grandma used to say, you better be nice. The world is round. It's going to come back to you. So congratulations, it's back. Yeah. Hi, Susie.
I have gratitude and prayer request. My gratitude is I am so thankful for all the doors that have been opening just all of a sudden. The universe, God, has been hearing me, and so many beautiful opportunities are coming my way so fast that my head is spinning with gratitude, and I'm just so intensely thankful for so many things. And then my prayer request, again, is for my son Michael. He's going through a lot of depression, doesn't care if he lives or dies, and with it's such a emotional up and down, but I know good things are going to come, and just to keep him in our prayers because he's a beautiful soul. Thank you.
Yes, he is a beautiful soul, and what we know, Susie, is that God is in it with him, that he is light, that he is expressing that light into the world. And we see that getting easier and easier for him all the time. And we celebrate all the good that's coming to you, all the opportunity. And you know, my grandma used to say, the world is round. It's coming back to you. Yeah. Yeah. I could use that one all the time, huh? Yes, Gary. Oh, here we go.
I'd like to piggyback on what Dixie said. If you own a business and your business sponsors a need, it's tax deductible as a business expense for advertising. And you don't have to pay FICA or taxes on it. So if you own a business, that's a place to go with it.
We are a full-service ministry.
By the way, Gary is also sponsoring the Mystery Theater.
He's also sponsoring the
He
Mystery
is-
Theater. Yeah.
We love Gary.
Yes, we do, and we appreciate him. And you get free tax advice right here at Unity of Flagstaff from a guy that knows what it is to be generous. Yeah, we appreciate you, Gary. Yes, we do. Okay, what do we got? Okay.
I want to pray for a neighbor. While I was waiting to come to church this morning, 2 police cars and a counselor car and everything pulled up in front of my building. And all the policemen would tell us is that a neighbor was very sad. I don't know which neighbor, but if you
That's
get
okay. God
2
knows the
police-
details, right?
Yes, but if you get 2
yeah.
police cars
Yeah.
and the counselors,
Yeah.
I figured she must have been very sad.
And
And
all
I-
the resources are there with her.
Good.
And she has what she needs or he needs. And we know that sadness is temporary. And we are affirming that all the professional help, all the support is right there. And we appreciate your kind heart to call it into prayer. Yes, we do. Okay. How about over there, Jim?
Real quick.
Double dipping. Char's
know.
double dipping on the microphone.
Real quick, I just learned that someone who's been coming here is not on the email list for the newsletter. And so I want to invite you, there's blue cards out here to be sure that we have your email, because our newsletter comes out at least once a week. And we've got tons of stuff on there. So just a quick reminder. So
Thank you, Char. Yes, blue cards. You betcha. You betcha. All right. How we doing? Take a breath. I see Alan back there doing a dance. I think he's got a little moth that's visiting him back there. Yeah, he's doing this deal. He's going like this. We got the AV guy. He's got rhythm. Yeah. Do you have one, Dawn? All right.
I have a prayer request for a very close friend, Kevin, who has just had his 3rd stroke. and he's having a very difficult time. So I would ask the congregation, because this congregation's prayers are powerful. We know that. So another prayer request is I have a client who has an offer in right now on a home in Kachina Village, and I would really like to see her get it. And I have a gratitude for all the people that brought socks for the Bag of Better Day for next Saturday. That box is like full. And we were planning on putting just one pair of socks in there. I think it's going to be more like 2 or 3. So thank you so much. And Penny said, oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, they'll show up. And they did. So thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. So that is for the Bag of Better Day. And what we do is we create bags for the unhoused. We then distribute them through the congregation and sometimes out into our neighbors. They carry them in their vehicles when you pull up to a corner and someone needs something or is asking for support. If you don't know what to do, hand them a Bag of Better Day. And it will be better bucks, which they will get free meals, discounted things from merchants that have participated. It also has socks in it. And it sounds like we're going to have more than just a pair of socks. The first year that we did this, we did 50 bags. This year, thank you to Dawn, who supported us around getting a grant from Foresters. We are able to do 100 bags this year. Yeah, I know. Round of applause. Yeah. Okay. And so what that means is you're going to have these bags to carry with you to hand to people. There also are resource cards in these bags that tell them where to get a meal, where they can stay for the night, where they can get resources for other needs in their lives. This is what we do. And so it's called the Bag of Better Day program, right? And thank you again for working so hard toward that grant. We're also, and we're going to fill those bags next Saturday. So it's going to be fun. And we're looking for volunteers to help do that. You're going to get fed. We're going to have fun. We've got all this stuff here. There's no heavy lifting. Come on at noon on Saturday this week. All right, that was the info commercial. Now I want to come back to Kevin, right? So we know that there is something in this for Kevin of higher consciousness, of higher awareness. Whatever that is, we see him understanding that and aligning with that, and he finds peace around where he is now. And we open our hearts to accepting this, knowing that only his highest and good is intended by the universe. And we call it as so, and so it is. Yeah. And that offer, it'll do exactly what it's supposed to do for the highest and best. That's what'll happen. All right. Okay, how about we move forward? Are we good? Are we complete? Let's take a breath. Yeah. All right, Miss Trina. I'm just moving along here so fast. There you go, dear.
We are grateful for the power of prayer and the good news, spoken and unspoken, here today. Again, we affirm that each condition, person, and situation is an expression of the divine. We claim love, wisdom, healing, and wholeness. So it is, and so we let it be. And our unity principle for today is, together,
our essence is of God, therefore we are inherently good. And the short version, we are that.
And
yes, we are. And a bag of chips.
Yeah. All that in a bag of chips. All right. So this is a daily word titled Oneness from February 28th of this year, 2024, called I Am One with God. I once believed there is a spark of the divine within me, as though my divinity were only a small part of me. As I have grown spiritually, I have come to understand that I am fully divine, just as I am fully human. It's almost like they wrote this for you, Penny, right? I have grown into this awareness, realizing that everything God is, I am too. God is love, and I am that love in expression. God is perfect peace. and I in that peace expressing at the point of me. God is wisdom, and I express divine wisdom as only I can. I know true oneness when I no longer think of these divine qualities as something to ask for or even acquire. Instead, I see them as mine to master and use. When I do this, I am able to take complete responsibility for my life. Oof. I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Only then will I know the fullness of my freedom and the depths of my potential. And from John chapter 10, verse 30, the Father and I are one.
Thank you, Trina. Nice, huh? Good old daily word. 200 years, 100 years, 100 years. Is that right? 100 years daily word is celebrating. Okay, so we're going to move into meditation. If we could get the lights, please. Thank you. Take a deep breath. We've heard a lot of stuff. Thank you, Trina. Perfect. Those daily words, man, they just hit it right on the nose, don't they? So take a breath. The divine and I are one. Rest for just a moment in that thought. All the power, all the grace, all the forgiveness, all the expression of the divine as me, through me. The divine and I are one. The divine, the principle of the universe expressing as us. See that in your life. See that in your bodies. See that. And rest in the knowing and the connection. Allow yourself to feel that place of peace within. And rest in the silence. And in these points of connection and in these places of knowing, we see this true for all those inhabiting our planet. We feel that deep healing that we are and that we are expressing. And we extend this beyond. Feel the light of spirit within you and know this for each other. Know this for all others. "100% human, 100% divine, co-creating with the universe, your highest and greatest expression." We give thanks. we give great thanks. And so it is, and so we let it be.
I've been a little bit jaded, out of touch, isolated. I've been living small, little by little. I've been building walls, but I know living's not living in fear. I've been hiding from myself inside of here. Somewhere in between, somewhere in between. Maybe there's a place we can meet. Maybe we could just let it be. Maybe we could get back to living in between. Once I could feel everything, was into everything. Now I'm afraid to let life in, afraid it might lock me out. These walls I've built to protect me from myself, hold me back from my higher self. Somewhere in between, somewhere in between. Maybe there's a place we can meet. Maybe we can just let it be. Maybe we can get back to living in between. There's three sides to this story, I'm told. One for the heart, one for the soul, one for the dreams that we can't let go. A love so pure, just might break. A pain so real that I lose my faith. But somewhere in between, somewhere in between. There's a place we can meet. We can just let it be. Maybe we can get back to living in between. Maybe me and I, we could meet. Maybe we could agree. Maybe we could get back to living somewhere in between.
How about that? Another Matt Devlin original. Yeah. He says, so I have this idea. And what was that, a couple weeks ago, right? And I said, well, I don't know if yeah, I'm not going there yet. But I said, I can go there. So if you like the message today, you can thank Matt. If you don't like the message today, you can thank Matt. Or somewhere in between, right? The great in between is, by the end of the week, I started calling it. So, Michael, this is for you. So, what kind of bird always gets stuck in the nest? Well, a Velcro, of course. That's a bad dad joke. The great in-between. Anybody here ever been stuck? Anybody ever here been what we call between a rock and a hard spot? Anybody ever here just be in a place that it just seems like there's no room here for light? Anybody? You don't have to raise your hand. You know, when I think about being in between, actually, when Matt mentioned that song a couple weeks ago, the first visual that came to me was a 1960 Ford Country Squire station wagon. There I am in the back seat with all three brothers squished together in between. So when I started thinking about the concept of in between, it just didn't conjure up a lot of joy. A lot of slugging, right? A lot of, whoa, she's going around the corner, you know, and we're all sliding one way and then we slide the next. Yeah. But have you ever been in between in your life? When we think of that, at least for me sometimes, that, as I said, didn't conjure up this vision of joy. In fact, it was like, well, in between could also mean indecisive. Oh, well, there's no time for that, right? In between could mean I don't know what to do. Well, we are not tolerating that for 1 minute, not knowing what to do. So I started thinking about how that concept, for me anyway, held some negative connotations. And so this concept of 100% human and 100% divine, as my dear friend Sandy reminds me often, I love that reminder, that we are 100% human and 100% divine. I started thinking about the in-between. The first thing I realized, though, is we have to agree on what human is. Anybody got any ideas about that? It's funny, we all call ourselves human. But you know, when you really say, I'm a human. But when we really start to define it, you know, I thought, okay. So, of course, I go to Webster, you know, and he starts with Latin. And in Latin, the word human actually means earth man. Earth man. That's what human actually means, earth man. Man of the earth. I was like, well, that's pretty general, right? So metaphysically, human actually means the idea in God's mind. Now, I want to back up, because actually, it's not the idea in God's mind, because then we personify God, right? You got that? Oh, you guys picked up on that. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Look at you guys. It is actually God mind, right? We take the personality, we take the human part out of it. So metaphysically, the definition of human is the idea in God mind. That's what human is. Whoa, I'm feeling pretty good about that, right? Charles Fillmore says this: to be human is the epitome of being. To be human is the epitome of being. And being is defined as the fullness of God. I am feeling better all the time. Human, he says, is the apex of God's creation. Now take that in for a second. Human is the apex of God creation. How do you feel about being a human now? I'm in. I love what Brene Brown says. She says it this way. She says, to become fully human means learning to turn my gratitude for being alive into some concrete, common good. That is what it is to be fully human. So the summary is this: Earth man derived from God mind. Can't you see that headline? That headline? Earth man derived from God mind. We got it. We know what a human is. Now, what about that divine thing? What about that 100% divine thing? Oh, I have lots of examples of when that wasn't true. I have lots of points in my life that a lot of people would argue she was not 100% divine. Yeah, she was more like 100% angry. She was more like 100% mean. She was 100% disconnected, right? 100% divine. You all have examples of when you haven't been divine, or at least expressed divinity. I love what Gardner Hunting says, and he is a classic unity writer. It was the mid-1900s when he was writing. And he says this, he says, you know, you try so hard to be divine that you forget to be human. Yeah. The word divine in the Revealing Word, which of course was written by Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders, where he took words that we hear all the time and he placed a metaphysical meaning on them so we can plug them in and use them in real life. So he said this, divine is the universal principle. Divine is the nature of God. And in New Thought, we correlate the word God with mind. When we talk about the Trinity in New Thought, we talk about mind, idea, expression, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. The divine is the nature of God. So how are you feeling about being 100% of that? Do you always show up that way? I want to have coffee, if you do. So when we say 100% divine, what we're saying is that we are 100% representation of the universal principle. It is God mind. Now, interestingly enough, we just said that human, as you know, being is the fullness of God. So now the headline reads this: Earth man derived from God mind meets mind. Are you confused yet? Basically, that our human, the fullness of God, the expression of spirit, meets the fullness of God, the expression of spirit. No separation. Even when I'm misbehaving. Even when I'm not showing up as my best self. I know it's hard to imagine. That was a joke. Come on now. Stay with me in the room. So, whoa, that's quite an intersection, wouldn't you say? When that 100% divine runs right smack dab in that 100% human. Woo. Kind of makes Times Square look small. That intersection, doesn't it? Think about that. Do you see the significance of that? Basically, mind meets mind. And you know the saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Right? That was a joke. Come on. Are you guys with me? Come on. Have I completely confused you? Well, give me a little moment here. We'll get back to it. We'll be okay here. Hang on. So I personally find this to be quite significant. I'm hoping somebody else in the room does too. Right? And the reason that I see that this is so significant is because this is where we not only meet our own humanity, but we hold the divinity of ourself and those around us. We behold the divinity that humanity is swimming in. How do you think we would behave if we remembered that? Maybe I should just ask me that question. Penny, how would you behave if you remembered that? Let all humanity hear this prayer. let all of humanity see itself in the context of its divinity. And let it be now. Let it be right now. I thought when I wrote it and I cried at the table, I wouldn't do it here. There's my humanity running smack dab into my divinity. There it is, and it's coming out of my eyes. Right? Let all humanity see itself in the context of its own divinity, and let it be now. Right now. If there has ever been an example of where the sum is greater than the parts, it's when our divinity and our humanity come together. When we acknowledge both of them and the power of them, and we allow them to coexist with each other. This is how we're going to heal the world. This is how we're going to do it. Our divine nature acknowledging and present to our humanness. The sum is greater than the parts. And what does that mean? It means that the combined effect, this is what Aristotle said about the sum being greater than the parts. He said it's the combined effect is greater than the simple addition of its individual parts, often implying synergy between the components. Do you see? Do you see how the in-between has now become the great in-between? I have a picture. Don't yell at the artist. Okay. I know. It's very elementary, but you know what? So is the concept. It is where our 100% human intersects with our 100% divine, and in that place, this is the great in-between. This is it. This is where this starts to happen. This is where we show up as our whole selves. This is how we change our lives and our world. That little spot right there, that little spot right there, where our 100% divinity crosses and intersects with our 100% human. Look at us. We're in the in-between. Do you see how it became the great in-between? It's like seeds and dirt. Somehow they become tomatoes. Have you thought about that? It's like seeds and dirt. And they just become tomatoes. This is the intersection of the power of our physical planting the seed and releasing to the divine power of nature. And allowing her to do her job, and we don't go out there and dig up the seed. We let it do its job. We know that we are in the in-between, and we know that we will bloom. And we'll have bacon, lettuce, and tomato, or lettuce and tomato for vegetarians. This is where it happens. It's like a bird's nest, where you take all the twigs and the branches and the straw and the stuff, and when it intersects with their ability and their knowledge and somehow that wisdom that they have, that they've got to build a home, and it becomes a nest, maybe a Velcro nest. It becomes a nest, right? This is the synergy and the power of the in-between. So here we are, 100% human and 100% divine. And we think, well, yeah, that's really cool, but okay, so when does that happen? All the time. Only all the time. Only. I want to show you something. This. Look at this. This is how your Sunday message gets created. Right here. That's my kitty, Millie. I am in the moment of knowing my full divine self and my full human self when I feel that kind of love. I feel that when I call this community, when I need support, and they say yes. I know this to be true. I want to show you another one. Oh, they just get better. Look at this. Look at this. That is 100% divine and 100% human, because let me tell you what, I got a wet face out of that one. This is when we know that we are that we are 100% human and we are 100% divine. We experience it in these moments. And look at this. 100% divine, 100% human. It's in these moments, and you have them in your life every day. See them, recognize them. See when you're showing up as that 100% human. And maybe in that moment say, hey, you know, I could use a little divinity over here. Hey, I could, right now, it would serve me to remember that I am 100% divine in this moment. You want to get somewhere, get to the in-between. In fact, my next vacation is going to be at the in-between. My next day off, I'm going to commit to being and staying in the in-between, where the 100% human that I am has collided with the 100% divine being that I am. And I'm going to express from there. And then I'm not going to wait till a day off to do that. And then I'm just going to live that way. Wanna? Yeah. I know. And you know what? This is where wholeness is found. This is the perfect unification and expression of man. And that is what wholeness is defined as in the revealing word. The perfect unification and expression of man. The perfect idea of God. But somewhere in between, as Matt told us, somewhere in between, maybe there's a place we could meet. Maybe we could just let it be. Maybe we could just get back to living in the in-between. There's power there where your divine self intersects with your human self. There's joy there. There's healing there. It's there. Now we're co-creating. Now we are seeing those things that intersect and we are recognizing them in their life like that. Right? Like that. That's a dog giving me a kiss. Like that. 100% divine and 100% human. I can't miss a moment of those times in my life. Look for them. Notice when it's happening. And I propose that it is happening all the time. There is no separation. And as I was watching the beautiful morning sky, the moon, it was heavy on the bottom with white and opaque on the top this morning. And in that moment, I stood outside on my carport at 3:30 a.m. thinking my neighbors are going to think I'm nuts. And I thought, look at me. I am absolutely, completely aware of my humanness in this moment. And I am experiencing the divine. That's what I noticed. You know, it was no wonder that Jesus was such a happy guy, right? He was just a happy guy because isn't this the reason, or at least one of them, that he came? Didn't he come to tell us, as the textbook, the Holy Bible says, Jesus came to give people life, life in its fullest. That's what he told us in John. He came to show us this dance of the great in-between, that we could be fully human and fully divine. And there are so many teachers that have taught us that. We don't know their names, and their story didn't carry like his did, but they're there, aren't they? Some of them are in your lives, aren't they? They show up fully human, and they show up fully divine, and you know you can call them. You know when you need help. You know that they are the people that you can reach to. And they remind you of your humanness and your divinity. I am really getting worked up over this. And so, okay, I need to take a breath. Okay, and so, as we said before, to become fully human means learning to turn our gratitude for being alive into some concrete common good. Like building Bag of Better Day bags next Saturday. Like showing up for Flagstaff Family Food Center. for answering the text when somebody needs help and you just say yes. These are the moments. This is when we really get to show up as our 100% human and 100% divine beings that we are. I had a congregant. He watches us on YouTube, and he'll be back in town. Oh, sorry, Jerry, if I blew your silent witness cover. Sorry about that. So I'm talking to him, texting with him, and we're talking about this concept of 100% divine, 100% human. And he says, well, do you think that could be like Maslow's theory of self-actualization? And I said, whoa, okay, so it's not a new thought. None of them ever are, honestly. So the desire to become more and more what one is, to become everything that one is capable of becoming, that is self-actualization. The desire to become more and more of what one is, and to become everything that one is capable of becoming. Welcome to the in-between. Welcome to that. This is where the richness of life is at. We can have a greater spiritual understanding and experience, and I believe that we are having the spiritual experience that we're having, and that it is informing our human experience to create what we need to be our highest and our best. That's it. That's really it. You know, my grandma used to say, and it's not the one about the round, she used to say, anybody that thinks every relationship is 50-50, if they tell you that, they lied to you. Because it's just not true. Because some days it's 100-0. Some days it's 90-10, right? So when you're not showing up 100% divine, give yourself a little break. Because the 100% divine is still there. The human just happens to be talking a little louder in that moment. But it's there. And with a breath, with an acknowledgement that I am 100% human, I am 100% divine, with the acknowledgement of it, we can begin to access it in our lives. And when that stinky old person walks up to me and makes me angry because of what they're saying, or that kid behind the counter at T-Mobile doesn't understand I don't know how to use this phone, and it's not doing what I want it to do, my 100% human shows up, and my 100% divine stands at the ready of its acknowledgement. It's within you. Welcome to the great in-between. Namaste.
I've felt the love flow of friends that gather round, celebrate this life we know. And if this were the end, wouldn't have it any other way, no. I'd do it all again. I would take a moment to recall our many spirits have a human experience. We breathe it, we feel it, we live it, then we leave it. We're only here for a minute in this human experience. There will be some bad days. I will have my share of sadness on the way, but I will revel in the grace of these greens and blues and grays, these sights, these sounds, these tastes. And I will take a moment to recall we are many spirits and a human experience. We breathe it, we feel it, we live it, then we leave it. We're only here for a minute. I'll stand out in the rain. And in the short time that we had, I'll celebrate it. 'Cause we are many spirits having a human experience. We breathe it, we feel it, we live it, then we leave it. We're only here for a minute. This human experience. We breathe it, we feel it, we live it, then we leave it. We're only here for a minute. This human experience. We're only here for a minute. And this human experience.
Matt Devlin. That's another original. Why don't we bring those baskets down here? Let's bless those puppies. I want to remind you, Pablo Picasso said the meaning of life is to find your gifts. The purpose of life is to give it away. That feels kind of good. How are you, Laura? It's nice to have you up here with me. Gosh, Michael, do you feel tall with Laura and I up here?
What'd you say, Shorty?
I want to remind you about the membership information class today. There's no obligation, but stay for lunch. I made a nice lunch for those that are interested in membership, and we'll just be going over some of those things and what that talks about and what that looks like. We actually had requests for people to become members, so we're having an autumn equinox membership class, and we're grateful for that. Round of applause. Listen to that. Yeah, think about that, all right? All right, I'm going to feed you well, so stay and get some information. Really, there's no obligation. I won't make you feel guilty about eating lunch and then not joining. So there we go. All right, today, as Shar reminded you, is the last day to order T-shirts. We appreciate that $10 donation, as that is part of our fundraiser. And we appreciate those YouTubers. Wave at the camera. Thank you for being there. We appreciate you. Yes, and we apologize for last week. We had a little technical challenge, but we made it through, and we're fine now. So there we go. Don't forget, we're going to the Caribbean Mystery Theater, and that is October 18th, and that is a Friday night, and we're going to have some fun. Check that out in the foyer. Pick out your character, and that's another fundraiser, and we appreciate your participation. And it's just a lot of fun. Who attended last year? Anybody here? Oh, did you have fun? Did you? Yeah, no, come on. Yay! Yeah, sound at least. There you go. Now we're doing it. Okay, here we go. And don't forget, next Saturday at 12 noon at the center is Bag a Better Day project. We're going to fill, decorate, sort. There's something for everyone to do, so come and join us with that, won't you please? So let's bless these baskets. Here we are. Say this with me. Good givers are we, good receivers are we. We affirm abundance, abundance, abundance. Thank you. Go forward, my friends. And I want to bring your attention to the Zelle and ACH options that we have for giving now. That is fee-free giving. We have folks that are starting to participate in that. They're having a good experience around it. We appreciate you considering that. We spent over $3,000 in fees last year, and our commitment as your fiduciary guides in this community is to be better stewards. And so we are starting to minimize that and take action around that. So yay, rah. Keep more of that money right here where it needs to be so we can do good work in the world. How about it, right? Okay, so how we doing? All right. I also want to point out to you that there's a lot of other stuff out there. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the wish list. So the wish list is out there. We have a nice new board. Thank you for bringing that nice new board, because the other one looked like it had been run over by a truck. And so we have a nice new board out there, and I want you to take a peek at that. We're getting ready to install a new projector. Thank you to Miss Laura Kavanaugh for supporting that effort. And we also received a grant for that. Thank you to Helen and the Prosperity Advisory team that made that grant happen for a new projector. Because believe it or not, the colors that you see are not the colors that are actually there. If you look at that little TV back there, you get a better idea of it. So we're working on that. But you know what? We're sending love to this projector until we get that new one installed. And it has been around a long time. So we're appreciative of that. So check out the wish list board, won't you please? Because as I said, there are things that this ministry needs to to do what we want to do in the world, and we took a lot of that out of the budget because we knew you guys would see how to make that happen. So we appreciate you. Bring those baskets down here. Let's bless those babies. And why don't we stand while we're at it? Big stretch. Hey, and I just want to say thank you because you really do let me get wound up. You really do let me feel what I'm doing. And I know a lot of ministers that don't get that kind of grace. They don't. They have to follow a script, and yeah, you think that'd last for me? I don't think so. But I can tell you this, I am grateful. I am grateful. It makes a difference for me, so thank you. I know. I love you too, Michael. Okay, so here we go. Thank you for these gifts. We are good stewards. We are grateful. We are abundant. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you to everyone that made this possible today. And we are going to reprise the We Are One, and then we'll do the prayer of protection. Here we go.
We are one.
We are one.
With everything under the sun. We are one. With everything under the sun. We are one. With everything under the sun.
The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you for putting the chairs against the wall, and thank you for helping us pull out a couple of tables. We're going to feed those people who are interested in membership. Thank you again. Create an amazing week, my friends.
Let's just keep finding ways. I don't know when I play again, but I think sometime in I think there's a day in October, I'm pretty sure. So I'll yell at you. We'll figure something out. Cool.